Baseball, America's pastime, where heroes are made and legends are born. But behind the glory of the game lies a darker side, where contracts can become shackles, weighing down teams for years to come. Welcome to our countdown of the worst contracts in baseball history. These deals have left teams regretting every penny spent. So grab your peanuts and crackerjacks as we delve into the depths of baseball's biggest contract catastrophes. I'll give you guys an honorable mention on this list, and as a Brewers fan, it gives me no joy in saying that it's Javier Baez. Before his tenure with the Tigers, he was a key player in the 2016 World Series run on the Chicago Cubs. He was known for his defensive skills, significant offensive contributions, and he actually had his best season in 2018, hitting 34 home runs with 111 RBIs and a .290 batting average, where he finished second in MVP voting. Up until 2021, he had a respectable .264 average with a .783 OPS and 149 home runs in his career. Then in December 2021, Baez signed a 6-year, $140 million contract with the Detroit Tigers following a brief stint with the New York Mets. But since joining the Tigers, his performance has been on a steep decline, particularly in the batting average and on-base percentage fields. In 2022 and 2023, he just batted .238 with a .671 OPS. Number 10 on the list, Patrick Corbin. He was a standout pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks before signing a major contract with the Washington Nationals. His performance peaked in 2018, culminating in an all-star selection and finishing 5th in the Cy Young Award voting. During his final season with Arizona, he posted a .315 ERA, striking out 246 batters over 200 innings, and over his 6 seasons with the Diamondbacks, posted a .391 ERA with over 1,000 strikeouts. Then in December 2018, following that monster season, Corbin signed a 6-year, $140 million contract with the Washington Nationals. And who knows, maybe the Nationals would pay him again. He was integral to their 2019 World Series championship run. His performance in following seasons, though, have seen a steep decline. From 2019 to 2023, he has a cumulative ERA of over 5, a negative WAR during that time. This one pains me to say, but coming in at number 9, Stephen Strasburg. He was one of the most dominant pitchers in Major League Baseball during his time with the Nationals. Before his contract in 2019, he had a stellar reputation, sometimes injured, we'll say, but he had the ability to strike out any hitter at any time and had a strong ERA. And he helped lead the Nationals to their first World Series in 2019, where he was named MVP. Prior to the contract, he had a .317 ERA from 2010 to 2019, striking out 1,700 over 1,143 innings with a win-loss record of 112 and a WAR of 33.0. Then the Nationals signed him to a 7-year, $245 million contract, which at the time was one of the largest contracts ever for a pitcher. Unfortunately, Strasburg's career post-contract was severely hampered by injuries, and after the signing of the deal, he'd only pitched 31 1/3 innings across 4 seasons. Strasburg's contract highlights the risks of long-term, high-value contracts in baseball, especially with pitchers, who are particularly susceptible to career-ending injuries. Number 8, we have Robinson Cano. He established himself as one of the premier second basemen in Major League Baseball during his tenure with the New York Yankees. His peak performance was from 2009 to 2013. He was an extremely consistent hitter and excellent defensive player. And over these years, he was a perennial all-star where he won multiple Silver Slugger awards. He consistently hovered around the .300 batting average line. And from 2005 to 2013 with the Yankees, his average was .309, where he hit 204 home runs and .860 OPS. Then in December 2013, at the age of 31, Cano signed a 10-year, $240 million contract with the Seattle Mariners, one of the biggest deals at the time for a second baseman. And after joining the Mariners, Cano continued to perform well. But in following years, he was affected partly by injuries. And there was an 80-game suspension in 2018 for violating MLB's PED policy. He was then traded to the New York Mets in 2019, where he had a resurgent season in 2020, hitting .316. However, his time with the Mets was also cut short by another PED suspension in 2021, significantly tarnishing his career reputation. Following the 10-year contract, he hit a respectable .284 and .780 OPS, but as mentioned, question remains about his career accomplishments. Coming in at number 7 on this list, Anthony Rendon. Before signing with the Los Angeles Angels, Rendon was a key player for the Washington Nationals, as were several others on this list. His performance peaked in 2019, again, leading the Nationals to a World Series victory just like Stephen Strasburg, and over 7 seasons with the Nationals, he compiled a .290 batting average, hitting 136 home runs, driving in 546 RBIs. He was known for his clutch hitting and solid defense at third. And in December of 2019, a lot of these contracts are coming in the past several years. He signed a 7-year, $245 million contract with the Angels at the age of 29. This contract was expected to bolster the Angels lineup alongside Mike Trout and eventually Shohei Ohtani. But Rendon's time with the Angels has been plagued with injuries, affecting his ability to consistently contribute. When healthy, he had shown flashes of former excellence, but he was not able to maintain his pre-contract performance levels. After the contract, he hit just .252 with 24 home runs and 104 RBIs heading into the 2024 season. Number 6, Barry Zito. He was known for his impressive curveball and consistent performances throughout his career with the Oakland Athletics. He had a Cy Young Award in 2002, multiple All-Star selections. Zito was known for his durability, surpassing 200 innings in 6 of his first 7 seasons, and he had a .355 ERA during that time. In December 2006, San Francisco Giants gave him a 7-year, $126 million contract, making it the largest deal ever given to a pitcher at that time. And at 28 years old, this contract was expected to bring the Giants a leading ace for their rotation. His tenure with the Giants didn't meet expectations though. His ERA rose to .453 in his first season with the Giants, and over 7 seasons, his ERA was sitting at .462. But despite these struggles, that durability maintained. He was still able to log over 180 innings in 5 of those seasons. During his time with the Oakland Athletics, he had a .355 ERA and 1,100 strikeouts, highlighted by a 2002 AL Cy Young Award and 3 All-Star selections. After the contract with the Giants, his ERA sat at a .462 in about 1,139 innings with just 720 strikeouts during that time and a .144 whip. Number 5 on the list, Mr. Ryan Howard, not to be confused with Ryan Howard on The Office. Ryan Howard was an absolute stud during his early years with the Philadelphia Phillies. He won the NL Rookie of the Year in 2005, followed that up in 2006 with 58 home runs and an NL MVP during that season. Then in 2008, he hit another 48 bombs, which helped propel the Phillies to the 2008 World Series championship. From 2004 to 2011, he batted .275 with a .929 OPS and 286 home runs. Then in 2010, at the age of 30, he signed a 5-year, $125 million extension that kept him with the Phillies until 2016. When the extension finally kicked in 2012, that's where he started struggling with injuries, unfortunately. He had a significant Achilles injury at the end of 2011, and his batting average dipped and his home run totals decreased significantly over the following seasons. After the extension from 2012 to 2016, he hit just .226 with a total of 96 home runs throughout that time, and a far cry from his .929 OPS, hitting just .694. This was one of those contracts where injuries played a massive role in the downfall of Ryan Howard. At number 4, Jacoby Ellsbury. Before his major contract with the New York Yankees, Jacoby Ellsbury was a standout player for the Boston Red Sox, the rival Boston Red Sox. His most notable season was in 2011, where he hit .321 with 32 home runs and 105 RBIs. Oh, that also gave him a backup second place finish as the AL MVP runner-up. This season, because of the offensive prowess, saw him win a Silver Slugger award, and not to be outdone by his defense that won a Gold Glove. Ellsbury played both offense and defense, and he could run, leading the AL in stolen bases in 2008 and 2009 with 50 and 70 steals respectively. From 2007 to 2013, he hit .297, stole 241 bases, hit 65 home runs with an OPS of .789 during that time. That led the New York Yankees to give him, at the age of 30, a 7-year, $153 million contract. And his first season in 2014 was his most productive with the Yankees by far. He hit .271, finishing with 16 home runs and 39 stolen bases. The following seasons were plagued with various injuries, and post-contract, he had a cumulative .264 batting average with 39 home runs and 102 stolen bases with a .716 OPS from 2014 to 2017. Number 3 on this list, again, as a Brewers fan, it doesn't pay me to say this, but he was an absolute stud, Albert Pujols. Before signing his landmark contract with the Los Angeles Angels, Albert Pujols had an insane career with the St. Louis Cardinals from 2001 to 2011. During this time, he was one of, if not the premier hitter in baseball, batting .328 with 445 home runs and 1,300 RBIs over 11 seasons. This included 3 NL MVP awards in 05, 08, and 09, and 2 World Series titles in 2006 and 2011. His WAR was a remarkable 86.6. Heading into his age 32 season, Albert Pujols, in December of 2011, signed a 10-year, $240 million contract with the Angels. And after joining the Angels, his production immediately began to decline. From 2012 to 2022, he hit .256 with 222 home runs and 771 RBIs across his tenure with the Angels and Dodgers before returning to St. Louis in 2022. His best year during that time was in 2016, where he did hit 31 home runs, but a significant drop in his average at .268. He finished with a 14.0 WAR during these post-contract seasons, a far cry from his 3-time NL MVP awards during his St. Louis Cardinals years. Number 2 on the list, Chris Davis, famously nicknamed Crush Davis. His best performances came during the early to mid-2010s with the Baltimore Orioles. His standout year in 2013, he led the majors with 53 home runs and an incredible 138 RBIs, boasting a batting average of .286 and a slugging percentage of .634. This remarkable season earned him a Silver Slugger Award, marked him as one of the most formidable power hitters in MLB at that time. Obviously, capitalizing on his performance, he signed a 7-year contract worth $161 million with the Baltimore Orioles in 2016. It was the largest contract in Orioles history at the time. Immediately, his batting average fell to .221 in 2016 and continued to drop in subsequent years, reaching a low of .168 in 2018. But it wasn't just his average. His home run numbers also diminished, and by 2020, he was only hitting .115 with no home runs in 16 games. During his post-contract years from 2016 to 2020, he played in 534 games, averaging .196 with 92 home runs. And finally, the top spot on this list, you knew it was coming. There's no other contract that can be here except for the infamous Bobby Bonilla. And here's the thing, you all know about the contract. July 1st is Bobby Bonilla Day, when the New York Mets must pay former player Bobby Bonilla $1.19 million annually every July 1st from 2011 until 2035. This arrangement stems from a contract negotiation in 1999 towards the tail end of Bonilla's career, where the Mets agreed to buy out the remaining $5.9 million owed to Bonilla. The thing about this though, Bonilla was not a bad player by any stretch of the imagination. He made 6 All-Star teams, won 3 Silver Slugger awards in the 80s and 90s, and Marlins fans, you'll remember him as a key part of the team that won the franchise's first ever World Series in 1997. So there you have it, a journey through baseball's worst contracts, from overpaid players to deals that handcuffed entire franchises. And these cautionary tales remind us that in the game of baseball, sometimes swinging for the fences can result in a strikeout. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And if you like this kind of content, check out more of our videos right here. We'll see you next time.